true scary story. The Blacksmith and the Devil. In the shadowed valleys of the Pyrenees, where the wind howls like damned souls through ancient pines, Father Mateo lived alone in a crumbling stone chapel. It was 1887, and the villagers of a forgotten Basque hamlet whispered his name with equal parts reverence and fear. Mateo wasn't always a priest. Once, he was a blacksmith, hammering iron in the fires of his forge until tragedy struck. His wife and child perished in a fever that swept the land, and in his grief, he turned to God, or so he claimed. But deep down, he blamed the devil himself for stealing his family. The chapel sat on cursed ground, they said. Long ago, a heretic had summoned demons there, binding them to the earth with blood oaths. Mateo ignored the tales. He spent his days reciting Latin prayers, his nights forging silver crosses in a hidden anvil behind the altar. His hands, scarred from years at the hammer, now clutched a rosary like a weapon. One stormy autumn eve, as lightning cracked the sky like God's wrath, a knock echoed at the chapel door. Mateo opened it to find a traveler, tall, cloaked in black, eyes gleaming red in the lantern light. "Shelter, Father," the man rasped, voice like grinding stones. Rain poured off his hat, but his clothes stayed dry. Mateo felt a chill, deeper than the wind. "Enter, stranger. All are welcome in God's house." The man stepped inside, shaking off water that sizzled on the stone floor. As Mateo offered bread and wine, the stranger's smile revealed teeth, sharp as daggers. "You know me, blacksmith," he hissed, shedding his guise. Horns curled from his forehead, skin scaled like a serpent's. "I took what was yours. Now, I've come for the rest. Your soul." Mateo didn't flinch. He'd prepared for this. Years of whispers from the villagers, dreams of fiery pits, had warned him. The demon lunged, claws extended, aiming for his throat. Mateo dodged. Grabbing a vial of holy water from the altar, he splashed it across the beast's face, eliciting a screech that shattered a stained glass window. Shards rained down like hell's confetti. "You think water burns me?" The demon laughed, regenerating its blistering flesh. It swiped again, raking claws across Mateo's arm. Blood welled, but he ignored the pain. "I've faced worse in the forge," he growled, retreating to the nave. The demon followed, growing larger, shadows twisting into tentacles that lashed at the pews, splintering wood. Mateo reached his hidden anvil, where a massive hammer lay, forged from iron blessed by a saint's relic. "Come on, you bastard," he taunted, American grit in his imagined voiceover seeping through the Spanish setting. The demon charged, breathing fire that singed the air. Mateo swung the hammer, connecting with a thunderous crack against the creature's chest. Bones, or whatever passed for them in hell, crunched. The demon staggered, roaring in fury. But it wasn't done. It summoned illusions. Visions of Mateo's dead wife, pleading for mercy. His child, crying in torment. "Join them," it whispered, voice multiplying into a chorus of agony. Mateo's heart wavered, tears stinging his eyes. For a moment, he lowered the hammer. The demon pounced, pinning him to the floor, fangs inches from his neck. Hot breath reeked of sulfur and decay. "No," Mateo roared, faith igniting like forge embers. He recited the exorcism rite he'd memorized from forbidden tomes, Latin words twisting like chains. Exorcizote, immunde, spiritus. The demon writhed, but held fast. With his free hand, Mateo grabbed a silver cross from his pocket, jamming it into the beast's eye. It howled, smoke pouring from the wound. Rolling free, Mateo scrambled to the altar. The demon, blinded in one eye, hurled bolts of dark energy that scorched the walls. Paintings of saints, blackened and peeled. Mateo dodged, his breaths ragged. He needed to trap it, bind it, like the legends of old. Remembering Vertiger's tales from Barcelona, whispered by traveling friars, he began a ritual of invocation reversed. "I summon thee not to serve, but to chain." The demon laughed maniacally. "Fool, you can't bind what rules the abyss." It grew wings, flapping gusts that extinguished candles, plunging the chapel into gloom, lit only by lightning flashes. Mateo felt despair creep in, alone against eternity's monster. But then, a spark. His blacksmith's cunning. He lured the demon toward the forge pit, where coals still glowed from earlier. Feigning weakness, He stumbled. The demon dove, triumphant. At the last second, Mateo sidestepped, swinging the hammer in a mighty arc. It struck the demon's back, driving it into the pit. Embers flared into inferno. Now, Mateo shouted, pouring holy oil over the coals. Flames erupted, holy and hellish, intertwined. The demon thrashed, trying to climb out, but Mateo hammered iron bars across the top. Bars he'd prepared years ago, etched with runes. Each strike sealed the trap. Clang, clang. The beast's screams echoed, shaking the foundations. You'll pay for this, mortal. I'll drag you down. As the fire died, silence fell. The pit was sealed, the demon imprisoned beneath the chapel floor. Mateo collapsed, bloodied and broken, but alive. Dawn broke, sunlight piercing the shattered windows like divine approval. Years passed. Mateo grew old, tending his chapel alone. Villagers avoided the place, hearing muffled roars on moonless nights. When he died, they buried him atop the pit, his hammer as headstone. But legends say the demon waits, scratching at its bonds, seeking the next fool to challenge it. One man against the devil. Sometimes faith and forge are enough. But in the Pyrenees shadows, victory is never eternal.